Good. It looks like we're live. So I'm Sara Zalek, and I'm joined by Cristal, Sabbagh, and Scott Rubin. And I'm not sure in which order you see us all in, but maybe you can figure it out. I could fill in my name. So that was an improvisation. That was something we have done in the past, never the same. And yeah, I'm curious to talk about what we experienced, actually. Does anyone want to start? Me?
I'll start.
I did. Oh, great. Cristal, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
This was a lot of fun. Well, first of all, finally I get to work with Sara.
We have been
Finally,
trying.
we're not adjacent anymore. We're in the same thing. Um, and it's been lovely getting to know Scott and working with him several times. So it was just a lot of fun, kind of discovering new ways to collaborate because of the pandemic and new ways like we were rehearsing like in front of each other as well as through Zoom and kind of discovering certain patterns and certain things that resonated with the both of us that we could, or all three of us, that we could play with. And it was also really nice collaborating with sound. So it wasn't just like, here's Scott, he's doing his viola, and then it's the two dancers. Like I'm just kind of tired of that and wanting to kind of blur some of those lines. Yeah, so it felt really good.
Yeah.
I will cede my time.
Yes. And then we'll get to see it. We actually have documentation, not like a lot of improvisations back in the day, the before times. It was often very hard to get documentation of improvisational performance. But now it seems that we will always have that, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, a blessing and a curse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scott, do you want to say anything next?
Sure, I can say a short thing.
Your volume is a little bit
We
low.
can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Yes, speak into the
Can you
mic.
hear me now?
Yes.
But
Okay, I'm gonna turn this mic up. If I'm too soft, just let me know. I'm turning the mic up, but there's people in my building playing music, so I can't have it too loud. What's the process? Well, I can speak for myself, and then I can speak for how like what the group went through. So we are doing concerts over the internet now live, and Zoom is not meant for concerts. Zoom is not meant for an accurate representation of an acoustic sound. It goes through circuit boards and through people's crappy Wi-Fi connections. And so how do you not just get around the medium, but make the media part of your art form? So maybe it means giving up like your conservatory sound, whatever that is, or the way your teachers taught you to play, and really embracing clippiness and distortion and delay, and playing in a way that where if the sound cuts out, it doesn't destroy the whole piece. And so also we have this little camera here, which is kind of weird. You can all see my living room um, and my bedroom and my kitchen. Uh, but we can play with it. We can put things in front. We can make little worlds. We can play with scope. And so again, like how do we adapt this medium? How do we work with people through a screen? How do we, make the best of this horrible situation? Well, it's not horrible. I live in a great apartment, but like we're in a pandemic, and everything feels so heavy, which I think is also why I'm playing these very crunchy and I don't know, maybe one might say ugly sounds. Not so ugly, maybe, but I didn't answer the process. Sara, you want to talk about the process?
I can talk a little bit about, yeah, my process with you has been, well, I felt like we've been in conversations quite a lot. Like we've met at Crystal's backyard outside, and we spent quite a number of hours there just talking as well as improvising in Cristal's backyard. And that was an amazing experience. And we were actually going to do another live meetup this last Sunday. And the weather at the exact moment that we were all leaving our houses to like get to the spot, which was going to be Humboldt Park, you know, the sky just opened up. And so we made quick arrangement to just get on the Zoom call and try something out. And I think it was because of also like we just were trying stuff, and it was Cristal and I were grabbing different things from our studios because we're both artists. She was in her studio at that time, and we were just grabbing things and trying things and really communicating. And I love especially the gestural quality that we work with in particular. It makes me like we mirror each other and do quite a lot of, yeah, it has a communicative quality. And then, I mean, the music or sound, I should say, is so compelling actually to just keep trying or keep going, like keep giving into this portal, like this camera. Right. And so I literally can feel myself like communicating with you pretty directly at times. And it doesn't replace touch for sure, but it energetically, it's amazing how much I can feel with you in a moment.
Yeah, and I was also going to piggyback on what you were saying. Like the last time we rehearsed, just those times when we were, and even the time when I was out of town, we still rehearsed, just how we were connecting to our fingers, to our toes. And also, you know, my husband's also a musician, so I was able to like grab some things and kind of play with sonic textures too, and string, you know, so we all just kind of fed off of that. It was really, really nice and actually just natural versus like, oh yeah, we knew before, we thought we were going to be performing outside and, you know, we just had to make it work with the flow.
Yeah.
Out of Sight asks, can you talk about how working collaboratively has impacted you during the pandemic and protests? Who wants to go first?
Well, I could say I've been very affected by the protests, and Cristal and I have actually gone to a couple of events together. And I know I remember like our very first meeting, Scott, like you were in the suburbs and not in the city. And like that was a moment for you where you were really struggling not to be there. And I still, every time that I do want to be part of every single one, and we figured out like we can be part of some and not others. But just talking about that, then again, like every time we meet, this ritual of like discussing what's going on and how we're feeling about it, and just being really open and honest with kind of each other's and sensitive to each other's experience and feelings. And I mean, I think that's been a major part of the collaboration. I just feel like that kind of just feeds into the strength of our listening to each other during like a moment where the pressure's on, when we're on live stream, you know, or even when we think we're being recorded, or we just, we're putting it all in every time. I feel like we just go in together into the moment.
Yeah, I was also going to say, for me, just once the uprising started, it was kind of a reset for me as an artist, because I was trying to figure out what can I do to use my skills in a way that that's helpful. And moving right at that moment didn't feel right. So I'm also an artist, and I started researching some of the Black trans folks that were harmed and murdered, and honoring them, black women, Black trans folks. It seemed like that was what I needed to do, because so often they're the ones that are even further marginalized and further getting victimized and murdered, and their average age is like Black trans women like 35. It's really horrendous. So there's lots of lots of conversations that need to happen. This is kind of like red alert time. It's not just about cops, but it's also internal, like talking with people, cis males, you know, and hyper masculinity, and how toxic that can be.
Yeah, thanks. I wanted to just share this one because this is the one I have right now, and I'm working on framing. I'm going to cut this pre-made mat a little bit more so it can fit all the way in. But this is Cristal's work. Yeah, it's beautiful. And yeah, I feel like it's just part of the process, like the friendship, the artistic collaboration, like life. Vabeni actually earlier, I felt like it really said it so well. Like the art, making art is not a choice really. It's like, it's my life, it's my stroke. Like I will make it no matter what. So under whatever circumstances. And so I just can't say enough thanks for allowing me to like keep making with you, even in the time where it was hard to make a plan or hard to know if actually our plans were going to be able to happen, you know, but we just kept trying, and that effort really to me makes a huge difference in my overall outlook of life. Yeah. So let me just see what time it is. 7:43. Maybe, is there any other questions, Scott? You have the Twitch up. I don't have it.
I don't see any.
Okay. If anyone else has any other questions, or do either one of you want to say anything else as far as our process or art, or do you have any shows coming up?
Freedom from freedom to.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in that one.
August 23rd, 24th.
August 22nd, 23rd.
Oh, excuse me.
August 22nd.
23rd.
Elastic Arts.
Elastic Arts.
Elastic Arts.
What, 20 musicians? What,
20?
a combination of musicians and dancers, improvising. And we're going to be in, for Elastic for that, just the performers, and then it'll come out through Elastic's Twitch. So that's the big one that I'm really looking forward to.
Me too.
I miss it. We all get to be in it.
Yeah, and Elastic has set up a way for us to be in the space, just a few of us at a time, being safely distant and potentially wearing masks depending on where we are. But so I think there will be a live feed also, and so it'll be this way of tying in even the live moment and with this other portal, right? This other way of sharing and being just like voices going out, but we have no idea who's seeing those moments until much later and somewhat later. It's pretty amazing, right?
Performing for a camera.
And
and a chat feed.
Yeah, but it's bigger. Like that's where I feel like I'm performing for each other. Like I'm really with you because I'm holding on very much to you both, and right, because there isn't that.
Yeah, you don't see it. You just the eye contact is with the both of you.
Yeah, and like the space, of course, is always integral, which is the other thing I love, that we get to use our homes as performance spaces. Like it's really changed how I see practice as well, for the better.
Luckily, you can't see my floor, but it's filthy.
Oh, okay. Right.
All right, I think that's all the time we have.
I think we better not do that. So with love to everyone, we're really excited to be in Out of Sight, and thank you, Corin. Thank you so much for your work and putting it together, and thank you to ESS, of course, for streaming and the Twitch channel. And please donate to the artists. We have so many amazing, especially international artists as well. So there's a crowd of people who are watching from all over the world, and it's so amazing. So thank you to all the collaborators, and be well. I'll see you guys soon.
See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Drum roll.